Who has left side hemiplegia, but he's max assist, okay? What does his pathology tell me as far as my transfer? What are some things I need to take away from that?
You're going to be moving him on the right side.
So I need to transfer to the strong side, which is the right, because I said he has left hemi, okay? Go ahead.
You're going to be positioning your knee on his affected side, that way it doesn't fall.
So I'm at least going to block his affected side, and I'll show you two different techniques, because some of you may be more comfortable actually blocking both, but I have to at least block or guard the affected side, okay? So he's already set up for me, because this is his right side, and I want to transfer him to his right. Okay, so I know I'm going to transfer him to his right. I'm just going to take this right footrest out of the way. And when I transfer him back, can I leave my wheelchair here?
No, you gotta put it forward.
I gotta take it to the other side because now he's gonna transfer to his right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove both leg rests so that they're out of my way. Alright, and again I'm gonna take my armrest out because I know it's gonna be in the way. I'm gonna leave the other one on there so if he could help with his upper extremity, he's max assist so he probably can't, but leave it there. Okay, I want as little space as possible. That's a big gap. So I'm going to get him as close to this chair as possible. So if he falls, he's falling on a surface. He's falling either on the wheelchair or the table. Okay. Alright, so safety feature, locked his brakes. I would want shoes on him because if he's going to be weight bearing, I want to put his shoes on, so go ahead just so we're not filming. To the strong side, I'm going to block his weak side. And what else do I have to make this safe? Gait belts. Okay, who has a gait belt? I can borrow. Alright, so gait belt. Let me not assume everyone has used these. Okay, so gait belt. You have like the alligator, like tongue and groove, the claws. Okay. Alright. Your other end needs to go through that first. Okay, it's going to go through that side first. Okay, so it's going through this side first, and then hook it through here. Okay, snug, it's not going anywhere. Okay, if you do it the other way, it could definitely just come undone on you. Okay, so if you go not through the alligator foot first of all, it's awkward. You should know that that was wrong. And it can pull away at my tongue here. Okay. Okay, so one of you will do it incorrectly. Alright, and it's going to go around, I don't need it super high, I don't want it under his armpits, I don't want it super low, okay, so it's not like a belt, it's going to go around like his waist essentially, and it needs to be snug. I'll show you what snug looks like. So I can ask him if he can lift his arms, if he can, that's great, otherwise I just need to go around him here. You can lift his arms. There we go. Perfect. Okay. All right. So I don't want it to be like, turned or anything. And snug. So I can get, a couple finger widths in there. I could even make it, tighter if I wanted. Make sure he can breathe. But it should not be loose because I might have to use this to help with my transfer. Okay, hopefully not. If there's a lot of excess, just tuck it in under here. Some of you guys will have really long gait belts, so just tuck them in. Okay. All right. So it's there if I need it. My goal is to not have to use it. Some of you will not be able to reach your patient's actual butt. That's preference is always to be able to be on like their ischial tuberosity. If you cannot reach, then you may use the gait belt. Okay, but I want you to try and at least be attempting to be on his buttock, essentially his ischial tubes. Okay. So he's right. So he's left hemi. So right side is fine. So I want him to use, or at least it's stronger. I want him to try and use this side as much as possible. I'm going to ask him to try and reach for the table over here because, again, right side is not impaired. Okay. Left side, it's left hemi, so I pretty much know it's not doing much. Okay. So I could ask him to put, like, let's say it wasn't like totally paralyzed, I could ask him to put it around my shoulders, not my neck, around my shoulders. But I'm going to assume that it's hemi, true hemi. So it really, for the most part, I'm just going to potentially tuck it here. I've seen therapists where they'll tuck it in their date belt to make sure it's not just hanging out. Okay. All right. So dependent. What is it first? Dependent standing pivot. Okay. All right. So
Right here.
I'm going to block his knees. My knee is going around his knee. Okay. A couple purposes. When I get him standing, that knee's not buckling anywhere. But also, I'm going to use it and my knees around his to direct my pivot and get him where I want to go. Okay. Some of you may prefer to go around both their knees. That's fine. For me, Q, that's too wide of a base for me. Okay. So I told him he's gonna try and reach over that way. I want him. All right. So I need to get him forward on the edge of the wheelchair because that is a really big gap to go. Okay. Knowing that he's hemiplegic, he's max assist. I can't just ask him to scoot forward. Okay. So a couple techniques. I'm gonna lean him away. Okay. And then I'm going to use my knees around his and go on his pelvis. Someone can hold the wheelchair when it's tired, it slides. So my knees here, I'm going to pull it as I push his pelvis forward. Okay. Okay. And then I can ask him to do the same on this side, because again, nothing going on with that side. Okay. And then shift. Shift. Okay. It's maybe a fun game of shifting until we get him close enough to the edge of the wheelchair. Okay. All right, and then I just want to make sure my wheelchair is not too far away from my table, okay? Really small gap to go. Dependent standing pivot. He's going to stand, but he doesn't have to stand all the way upright, okay? So I'm going to try and lean him forward, okay? And then we're going to go on his buttock, and we're going to say 1, 2, 3, stand, and we're going to pivot across, okay? All right, so 1, 2, 3, stand. Okay, hold on. My bad. So I need him to lean forward more. Okay, so you're gonna go nose over toes too. Okay, so lean forward. 1, 2, 3, forward. Okay. So for the most part, he was pretty good dead weight. Okay. My surface. Okay. My
She was like, I'm not buying
which is good.
anything.
Okay, you guys need to transfer too. Make sure your gap is small because that wasn't a ton of work on my part because I had such a small surface to go. And if I didn't have my knee on his knee, I don't really have any way to get him over there. That makes it a lot easier to transfer and just kind of pivot and rotate at my hips to make him go over there. Okay, coming back, I need to switch. Okay, same setup. I already took all my stuff off. Lock your brakes. And then, okay, so he's left-handed. I'm still blocking over here. Because I know he has a good right upper extremity, I'm going to put this on for his sake so he can reach for it and grab for the armrest. Okay. Then same thing. You guys saw me slide him forward, so we slide him forward on the table here. So forward. Okay. All right, and then leaning him. I want to lean him toward the direction he's going. Like I don't want his head this way because that makes it awkward when I'm trying to transfer. So I'm gonna lean his head toward the direction he's going. Okay. And then we're coming here. Okay. And then we're gonna stand up on the count of 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then 3. Okay. My only issue is that I made it harder on myself because I left this armrest on. Okay. Not crazy, but I left this armrest on, which meant I had to go over it. Okay. Dependent standing pivot. Again, I don't need him all the way standing, but he is standing and he's bearing weight on his lower extremities. Okay, so max assist transferred, which means how much can your patient help?
25,
Less than
49.
24%.
What is it? Hold on. Oh, what's our final answer?
25% less.
Okay, yes, 25% or less they're helping. Or 25. If it's actually no, 25% to 49%. If it's less than 25%, sorry, they're dependent.
I'll let Alex answer.
Less than 25%.
That's how we get confused, she said, because it's dependent, but it's not.
Yeah, see, you're
The
trying to
naming. I didn't
She
name
already
these.
said that
Okay?
though.
I did not name them. Yes, Natalia.
Did we fail the comp because you didn't take the other armrest off? Would we
No,
fail it for
no,
It would
that
just
won't
make
be-
it harder for us?
I just made it harder on myself.
Okay.
If you are like struggling, then I might say, okay, like
What could
what's
you
going
do
on? What do you need to
different?
do? Okay. So you won't fail for that. You would definitely fail if like the wheelchair's all the way over
Yeah.
here. If you don't transfer to the strong side. Okay, so again, make sure as soon as you transfer, turn that wheelchair and put it on the other side so that you remember it needs to go back the other way. And then blocking the knee. Okay, if you guys are just like out here not doing anything with his knee, because hemiplegic means there's nothing there, right? It's buckling as soon as I go weight bearing, so I need to be knees around both, or my knees are on his knee. If he's a spinal cord injury patient, then I am blocking both. Okay, so come forward for me, Q. Okay, so now let's say he's lower thoracic, he has no strength in lower extremities. Okay, I just need to be able to bear weight through it, and he's not going to buckle because I'm blocking his knees. Okay, so put your feet. Okay, I'm going to have to position his feet, right, because he's paralyzed. Okay, and then I'm going to lean him this way toward the table. Okay, and if he's paraplegic, or I'm not really doing this with a quadriplegic, I'm going to ask him to put his hands around my shoulders. Okay, I don't want him to squeeze my neck, and I'm coming on his buttock again. Okay, all right, so count of 3, then forward, 1, 2, and 3. Again, arm rest. I had to take it off the cue over here. Okay, go back.
You practice this at home?
Go back over there.
Dave, what are you doing? I'm practicing my dead weight skill.
Bring me ice cream.
Okay, come forward in your chair.
Yourself. Don't bring it.
Alright, so same thing. You're gonna lean forward that way, arms around my chest here. Okay. Again, if I can't reach, I'm going on gate belt, but I can reach around Q. Okay. Alright, so 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And then here, I'm gonna get him further so he's all the way on the table. Okay, and then I feel like I could safely leave him. Okay. Alright. Max assist, dependent standing pivot. You guys should be able to put a wheelchair on each side and do these transfers. Okay, so take turns using wheelchairs that the armrests actually come out. I know that's not the case for all of them. Or you can practice with just a chair if you want. But make sure at some point in time you're removing the armrest and footrest.
You said you can leave